So there are lots of questions I'd like to ask about this object, but for now we'll start with the material and what it's made of. It looks on the outside like it's homogeneous bronze or brass, but I'd like to determine if this is encased and it's homogeneous all the way through and not just coated in something. I wouldn't want to use a destructive or invasive technique to do this because the object is quite ornately decorated. So maybe a PXRF machine or other similar non-invasive technique that would determine the chemical composition of the object would be appropriate. Secondly, I'd like to look at how it was made and its manufacture. First, the plate itself, if it was cast or forged. You can look at the microstructure to do this, but again, that's invasive, which we're trying to avoid. So you could look at both macroscopic and microscopic indicators on the surface and the edges to try to figure that out. And secondly, I'd like to look at how the engravings were made. They were probably done by hand, but you can look microscopically at the engravings to potentially see what manner of tool and technique was used to make the engravings. I'd like to look at the doodles as well on the inside of the object because macroscopically they look quite different from the engravings on the outside of the object. So I like to look microscopically, most likely at the doodles versus the external engravings to see if the same tool was used and, if possible, if a different technique or even person made the doodles versus the engravings.